Occasionally you'll get a report that jobs are just disappearing from the copier, that they've been released from PaperCut, but they never print, and they've quote unquote disappeared. Here's what is probably happening. I'll send both of these jobs to a PaperCut hold release queue. This one's a letter size document. And this one is a ledger sized or 11 by 17 document. So I'll send both of those jobs off. I'm going to log out at the copier. We're going to log in and release. So I'll badge in. We can see the PaperCut interface in my VNC screen here. And I'm going to go ahead and go to the print release area. And I will select my letter size document, the second one. And I'll try to print it. I have letter size paper in the copier. So as you can hear, it's printing. Now I'll select my ledger size document and I'll print it. It releases, it's no longer on the screen, but we don't hear the copier doing anything. That's because there is no ledger paper loaded. If I press the job status button in the bottom left-hand corner here, it'll take me into the copier interface job status. And here, across the top, you can see it's telling me to load A3. A3 will convert to ledger size. So I'll load some ledger size paper into the bypass tray just like it's telling me to do. You'll get a similar message if it was out of paper in one of these trays down here to load letter if the trays were empty. But now I've loaded the bypass and now the instructions up here at the top tell me to press the start button. So I do. And now my ledger job releases. Anytime there's a special need or it's out of paper, it'll appear that the job just disappeared, but it actually didn't. It just needed some attention, and you can find out that information under this job status button in the bottom left-hand corner. The other thing that could potentially go wrong, unlikely, but you can look at the device in the admin PaperCut interface. And here's the device in question for demo room 202. The other thing that can happen is if we take a look in here, we can see that this copier can release jobs from 3 different queues, the physical 202 queue, a Find Me queue, and a Louisville Find Me queue. So it's got 3 different queues it can release from, but when it prints, where's it supposed to print? Well, it's set correctly to its own physical queue. But if someone has made the mistake and accidentally selected the wrong queue, when it's released from copier 202, and I leave it like this, it would actually print in the Bloomington office instead of the Indianapolis office. So you have to be careful to make sure that the copier is releasing to its own physical queue. So my demo room 202 machine that releases from this queue is printing to its physical queue. That's an unlikely situation that you would send it to Bloomington, but it can happen. That's the other thing that can make the jobs appear to be disappearing.